people, how have you all been? This is kind of weird for me because it's the second video where I've recorded in 2 days, but I've sort of got a week off, so I'm trying to be productive about it. Today we are finally going through Sketchbook numero 2. This is obviously quite a big deal because, as you can probably tell from the dates, I spent over a year in this sketchbook, and it was a pretty hectic year because obviously this was the year that I switched courses, and, you know, also just anything that happened, like, since March 2020 is kind of dramatic. Generally, because of all the pandemic-y stuff that's been going on. But, yeah. Sketchbook 2. Welcome. Obviously on the front cover, we have my, original character, Bran, from my comic I'm working on. Although this was kind of, I had a bit of a weird phase with her, so I knew what she was supposed to look like. I had a weird phase where I kept drawing her and, like, not the right weight, so she's really, like, too, like, tall and thin here. It was kind of a phase. I corrected it in places further on, but it's still something I'm working on, because I just kind of, I have a default structure for drawing people, and then I usually pad them out if I want them to be curvier, and I just completely forgot. But yeah, that's Bran. This is obviously the little welcome page of awesomeness, which just says the same thing that the main page does. And here are the thumbnails I must have done when I was originally planning the front cover. I find it weird there's a picture of dinner down here, because I genuinely do not, for the life of me, remember drawing that. In fact, I remember doing a decent thumbnail for the cover of this sketchbook in the last sketchbook, but I always love looking back at old sketchbooks, because I look at something like that and I just, it's so fun to see how far I've come in, like, the year that's been. Because I remember when I used to outline all my sketches in pen. This was ages ago. I also still really like this. This is quite cute. It's a little face. And, like, the little scarf thing. Which, I can draw that better now, but I really like the way it looks. It's really cute. This was obviously my Draw This Again character, who I just redrew, like, a couple of weeks ago. And then, oh, this was, so I play The Sims 4 occasionally, and I created a Sim, and their name was going to be Morgan, and I was doing, like, a sketch of what I wanted them to look like when I aged them up, because I think they were still a teen at the time. But this was, like, the original inspiration for my Morgan character in my comic, and the point where I suddenly realised Morgan is such a lovely gender-neutral name. And I was like, right, we're gonna roll with this. Also just cool plait. I really like this skirt. Like, I don't know what she's from. I don't remember drawing her, but I like the skirt. This would be a sketch of my D&D character, who I kind of invented and have never played D&D. I'm gonna get around to it. I've got some friends who are supposedly gonna drag me into a game at some point when I have time. This character was clearly meant to be looking over their shoulder. Kind of looks like some kind of thing out of a horror film, but oh well. And there's Bran again. It's weird how much she's stayed the same. Like, she's still recognisably the same character, but how much she's changed since here. It's insane. Ooh. Well, this, I like the flower crown. This is very cool. I think this was for, this was when I was working on my, ABD Illustrates fan art for his character, the Swan Girl, whose name I've completely forgotten, but it's, like, the most watched video on my entire channel. That was when I was working on the original sketches for her. And then this is probably still one of my favourite pages in this entire sketchbook. I got some Ohuhu markers for Christmas the year that I started this sketchbook, so December 2020, that was so long ago. This was the first time I'd ever used them, and I just really love the way this page looks. I think I did spend longer on the sketches because I was colouring them in, but, like, look at little Dinner Dan and little Bran, who's looking slightly more in proportion here than she does on the front cover, although the hands are tiny. But just look how cute. And I loved playing with them. It was so much fun. This is also the only page where I've left the other side. There's a little doodle from my Christmas drawing from that year on the back, but this was the first and only time, I think, in the sketchbook that I didn't cover up the back, because the markers do bleed through. We just got some little din-dans. That's really cute. And then this was a redraw I was kind of thinking about doing for, I think I did complete it, but not digitally, so it won't be on any of my channels. For a piece of fan art I did ages ago of Kakashi and Obito and Rin, and, like, just playing with colour. I was having so much fun with the markers. And then This must be the first example I've got of Gwen in a hood. I've drawn Gwen in a hood loads of times, but like, Gwen in her little hood. Also, look at the tiny little bean and the horse. Oh, I love looking back at these sketchbooks. Also, like, I did not realise when I originally drew this that I'd done her entirely in trans flag colours, but I love it and it looks really cool, and I have not used this character at all since then, but if I do, absolutely trans character. I love the... Yeah, that's just such a nice colour palette. I hadn't even realised I was doing it at the time. I love this little sketch of the horse. It's one of the only decent horse sketches I've got. Then we've got more character designs for Gwen and Izult, and playing with the markers some more because I'm obsessed. Also to cover up the marker bleed through from there. And then I decided to do, because I love my markers, wanted to do a character for like every colour of the rainbow, so I did like 6 characters. And these were the sketches for them, and then I did like, 8 characters. Oh my gosh, 8 characters. That's like tons. I really like his trousers. I really like these in concept. That is based on a dress I actually have, which I need to wear more because I love it. I should redo this again at some point because they're all quite cool. They're just not, I can draw them better than this now, but they are all quite cool and I really like it. And then we got this page of sketches in which I was like, you know what, we're just going to chuck some additional markers on her face because markers and fine liners are so fun to play with. And this sketch actually went in my portfolio for my application to MMU, which is the course I'm on at the minute. But I still really like it. That one's not as great, but like these ones are really quite funky looking. And then we have Dinadan in a helmet and Fancy. I was considering doing a masquerade ball type scene for a while, purely because I wanted to draw Bran in a masquerade mask. But I also apparently designed Dinadan in one. And then this was me potentially trying to learn to draw environments, and I think the drawing itself actually looks okay, but then I tried to colour it in and it just didn't work. But this makes a really nice little picture in here. And then we've got... I mean, I'm presuming this one was based on Elizabeth Bennet. I think I was watching Pride and Prejudice, because these look quite Pride and Prejudice era drawings, but I don't actually remember drawing them at all, ever. Maybe I was working on Morgan, maybe that's what was happening here. And then I was watching, these, believe it or not, they don't look like it, but were actually sort of based on Oran Host Club, which I was rewatching, because I liked that show. Probably shouldn't have. And then I tried drawing some dragons and dragon heads, and I really like what I did with, look, this one's very cool, as is this one. I really like the combinations of the pens. I need to use more colour. The back half of the sketchbook is so much less colourful because I just kind of got out of the habit of putting colours on. And then these were some little compositional things for a painting I was considering putting in my portfolio. I didn't in the end. I really like the way this looks. This is really cute. And then the next 2 pages I'm going to skip because I did like a little comic in markers for something that's going to happen at the end of my comic. And whilst, yes, I know it's been 2 years, I've still not written the heckin' comic, I might one day. And so we'll just keep those spoilers out of the way. That's the only page in here you can't see. This is when I first started watching She-Ra. I love the way Adora's top works. It's so nice. Back when I still had a romance plotline planned for Bran. It's not that I don't have a romance plotline planned for her anymore, it's just that I don't have a really specific one. I have like several potential candidates, and I'm just going to see how the story goes as to whether I actually have a get with any of them. Yeah, this was Lancelot trying to teach Dinadan how to actually use a sword, given that he doesn't know how. I drew some rabbits. I made these into stickers for my Redbubble. I really need to overhaul my Redbubble at some point because it's absolutely terrible. But, oh, and also this, I presume, this is a drawing of a character from my other story I'm not really working on, but have worked on in the past and has a full cast of characters. I presume that's Elaine. She looks really nice there. I really like the little ponytails. This was a series of just observational kind of drawings from Pinterest pictures that I did so I would have it to put in my portfolio. They look really good actually. I really like this dude. This dude's very cool. These guys were obviously my first drawings of the Orkney boys. I think pretty much. I'm sure I've drawn Gawain somewhere before. In fact, I must have because he's not on here. But like, this is my first little Gareth. I like the ponytail. What happened to the ponytail? I need to bring that back. I feel like he looked really good with the ponytail, or like a little half up hairstyle based on the way I draw him now. And then this was the first set of me drawing Dinadan's younger and older brothers, particularly Bruno, who actually hasn't changed all that much, although I have, like, decided he's a trans character since I originally drew him here. But this is, like, the first little look at Bruno, who I've got kind of attached to recently. You'll see why at the end. And then some more She-Ra, because, you know, I love it. And then this was working on kind of Morgan Le Fay's sister, and what her armour might look like, because I hadn't actually designed any armour for women yet. I was also working on some ideas for, like, an armoured look for Bran for kind of the back end of the story, because, you know. And then this was when I was going through my Once Upon a Time phase again. And, oh, these were like little gender bent versions of Dinadan. Lancelot was what they were originally based on. I kind of made them their own piece in the end. But I really like her hair. It's very cool. And also just little Dinadan in one of these tops, because I love those tops. They're really cool. Also, this was a really nice version of Isiel. I love that necklace. I would quite like to revisit some of this in future Isiel designs, I think, because she's really pretty. Then, obviously, you will have seen the speed paint. Well, you might not have seen the speed paint, but there was a speed paint that made this. There was a speed paint that this turned into. I must have done so much art that day, because this is a self-portrait that I did around the time of my birthday, so that would be about March. It's going to be interesting, because we've, you know, gone from December to March in this many pages, and then this is everything else. It really slows down at the back end, because I started art school, obviously, and had less time. But yeah, this was a little sketch of Dinadan that I turned into a full speed paint. I'll put the links to both of those up in the corner, probably. If I remember. We'll see if I remember. And then this was... I don't really remember most of this. Just cool people with bows, because bows are awesome. And then... I think this was work on designing my own kind of Once Upon a Time style character, really. I'm not sure what I was quite going for with it, but I think I remember doing that. I really like the sword and the funky collar. That's a nice funky collar. It's interesting, actually, because Tristan has a coat that's so much like that. And then this was when I first started working on a potential sigil for Nimue, the Lady of the Lake, and I was kind of thinking about, like, fishes and things, and I really like the way that looks, actually. I might use that for, like, her scaled-up flag of some kind. Working on that some more. This was an idea. I wanted to do a painting of, like, a person looking in the mirror with, like, 2 different versions, and I could never quite get it right. I might try that again now that I've got better perspective skills. This is Bran, once again, more in proportion than she was at the beginning. I really like the way the collar comes up at the top here. Then obviously you've got little Lancelot and Dinadan in his formal outfit for the first time. And then this, I believe, was roughly around the time I started getting into Torchwood. In fact, it was, because there's a Yanto and Jack, although that doesn't look very much like Yanto, and the little suspenders, and then I'm not even sure what I was designing this character for. It was honestly, I just like drawing myself in fantasy settings, and I wanted a swishy coat. A swishy cropped coat, which totally makes sense. So this is that, with a little scarf. I really like the little scarf. And then, oh, that's a really good boot. I don't draw boots that well these days, and that's a really nice boot. I also really just love the way this looks. She's very pretty. I've got some Sherlock, and then that's really cute. Oh, that is very cute. I really like the way that turned out with, like, the little stripy top and the suspenders, and that's very cute. This was a scaled up version of the girl in the swishy coat who I adapted to look less like me so that it wouldn't look like I was just drawing self-inserts all the time. I really like the yellow. Yellow is just a good colour, you know. And then we have... This is my little D&D character that I was working on again. This is Yanto hiding in Jack's coat because I wanted to draw that because I thought it'd be cute. Then there's these two. I love this drawing, right? This far back, there aren't many drawings I love, but I absolutely love this one. These two are adorable. I tried to do a full-scale piece of them, and it didn't quite work out because I was doing it with markers and I messed the line art up. But they are just beautiful. I really like the way they look. They're so cute. This is also adorable. I don't really know which characters these were, but they're so cute. And then this is probably one of my favourite drawings of Dinadan and Lancelot in terms of proportions. I feel like I got the height and, like, the shoulder width really good on both of them here. And I have actually traced this onto the front. Oh, where is it? Give me a sec. Find it. I made a little book in school and that I'm using to track my story, and I traced these guys to make this illustration here. It doesn't look much like them anymore because I've corrected it a bit, but there's quite a few illustrations from this book, sketches from this book that I've put on here, and I love this thing, and I'm kind of scared to write in it now that it's so pretty. But yeah, I love this little sketch. It's so cute. And then we've got more Jack and Yanto actually looking more like Yanto is supposed to now. This is really cool as well. I think I was looking at, every time I see a picture that's got like kind of cool legs, I try draw it because I'm really bad at legs. I also love this. I'm not entirely sure what it was supposed to be, but I love it. We've got Bran again being awesome and fighty, and then we've got this little, I don't think I even used a reference for this. Well, no, I think I did have a reference, and then I drew the clothes on top. I just really like the way she turned out. It's really cool. I love the little knees. And then I think that's Oliver, my very first OC, who's on the front of my first sketchbook, who I've not done a lot with lately. He does appear in one of the other stories I've made, but to be honest, the way he is like a version of him kind of shows up in every story I write. In my current comic I'm working on, like Dinadan looks very similar to him. They were kind of adapted from the same original base. I adapted him into my gay pride character, and then I adapted the gay pride character into Dinadan, but like they kind of ended up looking, he kind of ended up looking more like Oliver than he did the gay pride character, and it's just very fun. I love this little sketch. This little sketch is why I drew this, because I was like, this character is awesome, let's make them even more awesome. And this is probably my favourite drawing of Jack and Yanto that I think I've ever done. In fact, at the back of this sketchbook I've got a little pocket, which we'll go through at the end, and I think I made that big. And then we've also just got this cute little Kakashi guy, just such sweet beans. They're just the best. And this is when I started drawing in Biro all the time, and Biro is tons of fun. This was obviously from a real photograph reference. This is my little D&D character. I so want to play D&D just so that I can do something with him. Maybe I just need to write a comic with him in. His little scarf and his little ears. He's so cute. This was a drawing of one of the buildings at Nottingham, and this was working for. So I almost did a speed paint with Eliza in, but it was so long ago now that I've deleted the footage because I don't think I can make it good, and I only ever half finished it. I was trying to do like a realistic painting, but I was drawing all the little lanterns and things. And this is when it gets really fancy. I was not having a good time at uni around the time I made this next couple of pages, and so I spent a lot of time drawing, because this is probably the most technically fancy page in my entire sketchbook spread. Obviously you've got Yanto and Clara, but you've also just got loads of Pinterest images. I love the way she turned out. She's really cool. I really like the way Yanto turned out in this one. And then Kakashi Guy, again, I think I was doing another Kakashi Guy speed paint around the time I drew this, to be honest. Really cool lady with a sword, because why wouldn't you want a cool lady with a sword? Don't even know who this was supposed to be, but he looks cool. That's quite a nice little doodle of dinner down there. He's got quite a, I don't know, there's something about the proportions of that I really like. I think it's due to the width of the face at the bottom. These were obviously done from fancy references again, and sunflowers, because sunflowers are awesome. And then we got the markers out again. I think it was Drawing with Waffles was doing their mermaid stuff, and I was like, right, well, we've got to do the same. And so I really love the way she looks. She's very cool with her little chunky plait. It's so chunky. And yeah, there's such a nice movement there. I don't particularly care about her as much, but the little catfish, because who doesn't need a little catfish? Catfish are awesome. Then we've got this dude. That was a drawing. I think I did that drawing from like a reference of my own hand. I might have done it from an image reference, but I feel like I did it from my own hand. This was the little sketch from my other ABD fan art I've done of the river and the guard girl, and this tiny little sketch is just like one of my favourite things. Look at how cute the little faces are. It's adorable. Also got Bran and Gaheris here. I really like Gaheris. I'm not going to be able to put him in my comic for a really long time because there's just too many characters, and I'm still trying to work out how he fits in, but if I get the chance to, I would love to put them in because they're just so cool, and I forgot that I made them non-binary and just misgendered my own character again. Damn it! This was some practice of expressions and stuff. I really like this Lancelot as well. He looks pretty cool there. And then This was like a little mini doodle of me, really, in that little yellow dress again, because I love that. I also really like the way he's holding the sword here. Like, he has no sword skills, so I probably won't find an excuse to use that, but it's really cool. I also really like this. I think her head's a bit wide there, but it's... This is... I've done so much good stuff in this sketchbook. It's always... I love looking back over old sketchbooks because you see the less good stuff. For instance, this, you know, I can do much better than this now. And you think about how far you've come, but you also see the stuff that was, like, really surprisingly good. And it's just, like, you get to be proud of that. And every time I think about, like, this was a whole set of blank pages. And, like, all these lines on the page, like, I put them there. I put all this in here. And it's just, it's really cool. These girls again, because they're adorable, and somehow I managed to still make them super adorable. This was a drawing of some YouTubers I did. I love her channel, it's so good. And then I also really love this little mini doodle of these two, because they're just such beans. They're super cute. This was much more, like, loose sketching, but this is, like, these girls again. I need to do a full drawing of them at some point, just because they're super cute, and I don't draw enough lesbians. Oh, I remember doing this. I remember doing this in the cafe at uni, and it's like a Final Evolution Dinadan with funky gloves, which I've added to his main outfit now, and like this really cool little waistcoat and kind of like a half cape thing, and he just looks very cool. This is also, I think, roughly where I started finalising what I wanted an Amuse sigil to look like, which I use pretty much everywhere now. It's kind of become like the symbol for my comic, just because I use it the most. I've worked on sigils for other people, just hers is the coolest. And then we've got more Lancelot and Dinadan being adorable. I think this is meant to be Guinevere. I can't quite tell. I haven't ever really pinned down, like, exact facial features for her, so to be honest, any character in this book with slightly curly hair could be Guinevere. And then this was me planning out my little Pride drawing for this year. I really like her. She's so cool. Chunky plaits are amazing. There is a reason Bran has, like, a really super chunky plait that just varies dramatically in length depending on how I'm feeling. Then we have Tristan munching on an apple, because that's just cute. This was a little sketch I did of somebody I saw reading on the hill. It was summer at the time. I really like the way this looks. It's tiny, but it's really nice to look at that. And then we've got these beans, which is entirely based on a drawing that the amazing Token Scribbles? Is that it? But the amazing Token Scribbles did me some fan art. I will put whatever their actual name is on the screen so you guys can see, because I love them. Their work is amazing. They are so nice. We've got Bran and Gov just being cute friends here. Cute little kisses. And then this page, which is entirely self-indulgent because it is entirely fan art for Tinadan and Lancelot, or Galahad. His name changes depending on my mood, to be perfectly honest with you. And then we've got, this is when we start to get really good. Like, this is like a really good drawing of Bran. This is what she's supposed to look like. Also, just the height difference between Bran and Gov is hilarious. He's like 6'4" and she's about 5'3", and so I get to draw her really tiny, and it's a lot of fun. And then Dinadan again on some really dodgy quality paper. I have no idea where I got that from. That's horrendous. And then little Yanto Drones with his cup of tea and like tiny. I was considering making some Redbubble stickers, but I don't think they would sell anyway, and also fan art tends to get taken down on there, so you know, it was one of those I was thinking about it. I don't know. I don't remember drawing this. It kind of looks like Bruno though, so we're gonna say it's Bruno because he's really cute. This was obviously based on the new Loki series. Yeah, it must have been. Bran just being cute and dynamic, and I love drawing her fighting things. I don't know why I don't draw the men fighting things as much. I think it's because of the dress. It's really swishy. Although Lancelot has a swishy cape and I don't draw him, so who knows. Bran again, looking even more in proportion. Like, this is the version of Bran that I'm working with at the minute. Then we've got this really cute drawing of, like, Lancelot and Nimue, or Nimue, or whatever the heck you want to call her, because I can never make my mind up. Look how cute these beans are. They're so... I'm getting way too excited about my own art. And then we've got Bran just being adorable, and a little Loki and Mobius on a jet ski drawing, because who doesn't need that? They were adorable. I'm I've said this enough times, but I'm so annoyed with the Loki series. It was going really well, it had a really nice plot, and then they just throw a load of incest in for no reason. I don't know why. Why would they do that to me? I love the way his face looks here as well. That's a really nice expression on Gov. And then we've got just lots of little doodles. I've used this one on my book that I was drawing earlier as well. It was one of my first drawings of King Mark, actually. And Tristan in the background being cute. And we have some Catra and Adora, because, you know, She-Ra. I also really love this tiny little sticker for Good Omens. I want to put some of this stuff on Redbubble, but I'll just absolutely get it taken down. I don't have the time or money to manage an Etsy shop, so that's not going to happen. If you want to see some of these tiny doodles made into Redbubble stickers, I will, but I won't be able to list them as actual fan art because they will get taken down. But so it's only worth me doing, really, if people who follow me, like, want it. Because if people who don't follow me want it, they're never going to find it, because I can't... It's weird, the stuff that gets listed and the stuff that doesn't. This is adorable. I don't remember drawing this, but she's so cute. Look at those little eyes, look at the little freckles. I'm so proud of that as a drawing. He's also super cute. This is like kind of an evolution of Oliver a bit. His hair length dramatically varies, once again, depending on whether I can be bothered. And then a very out of proportion Aziraphale and Crowley with the little wings. I really love the way Crowley looks in this. Aziraphale does not look like Aziraphale at all, but Crowley looks really cute. It was based on a dancing picture that I found on Pinterest, and I was like, we're just gonna make this adorable. Jack and Yanto based on an Outbreak audio drama scene, just being super cute. Lancelot and Dim just being adorable. More dancing, because I think this was around the time I was watching Strictly, actually. I actually watched all Strictly this year because I was home for it. And I started doing cool stuff. I really like this one as well, where she's lying down. I think the anatomy is really good. And little belly button. Little belly buttons are adorable. This obviously turned into a full-size speed paint. I'm sure you guys have seen it. This is Scorpia being adorable. I did actually get around to drawing Scorpia in the end. I thought I didn't, but I did. I've got a little Scorpion perfumer drawing that I did that is like an actual speed paint. This is one of my favourite... In fact, I think this is one of my favourite pages of sketches in the entire spread. I just love it. I mean, these guys are so cute. Obviously based on Lore Olympus. I just love the way this turned out, and his hand actually looks really good. And then we've got Oliver being adorable in his missized clothes, and this is just gorgeous. Portia, obviously from my other comic, who is on the front of my newest sketchbook, which I will just grab for you. Sketchbook number 3, which is now actually painted, and it's got Portia on the front, and she's just a bean, and I love her. And then also this little Jack and Yanto dancing, hugging sketch is adorable. And these guys also made it onto the front of that other book. Aziraphale with a giant snake, because why not? This was just a pose sketch for the Draw This In Your Style. It's weird how many things that I turn into speed paints end up on like really adjacent pages, and there'll be pages and pages of sketches that when none of them made it into real drawings, if you know what I mean. This was me having no clue what to draw, so I kept asking my brother to give me ideas. This is quite cute, though. This is very cute. Bran, again, being amazing with... Her hair's got thicker and curlier as the story's gone on, as well. First, a couple of Morgan sketches. Definitely more Morgan sketches, as well as working on what, like, a symbol for Avalon might look like. I've still kind of not decided that. I quite like the one with the tree. The tree is pretty cool, but it takes forever to draw, so I'll have to actually spend some time making it look nice, and then save it somewhere. Lancelot in little man bun is just adorable. This page, which has, you know, a redesign of Gaheris, because this was roughly when I was drawing my Orkney Boys full-scale image, and I love them. I really wanted to put a character in a corset, and I couldn't think of any characters that would be appropriate to put in a corset, so they get one now, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Dinadan just being a bean, obviously little comic. I still have the original sketches at the bottom, because I taped that in so that I could still see them, and I just really like the way this turned out. The grass is a bit bright, but shh, no one has to know. Morgan drawings, she's really cool there. I kind of use this arm position for pretty much everyone now because it's nice and easy. Bran, like, massive. I kind of decided I need to draw more big stuff to fill up the pages better around this time. So I was like, heck, we'll just draw Bran absolutely huge. This little band on her vest kind of comes and goes as well, depending on my mood. I love Crowley's shoes. These are really cool shoes. These videos would take so much less time if I didn't get so excited every time I open my old sketchbooks, you know? Aisil being just beautiful with a little bun. And then this was, I think this might have been based on an outfit I was wearing that I decided to draw this girl, but I really like the way she looks. I also really love this dress. I think I just came across a picture of the live action Cinderella and I was like, yes, we will draw this funky giant dress because it's very cool. More Crowley and Aziraphale because I am obsessed with Good Omens, as a lot of people know. And then this was, I went on holiday to Cornwall and I took some of my stuff with me, and so I did a little drawing in markers I only took like a really limited number of pastel markers, and so I made a really cute pastel girl. Drawings of people at the beach. In fact, I think this is a drawing of my sister at the beach. Yeah, this is my sister at the beach. Girl with cool plaits in armour, because why not? And just these beans being adorable. There's something about the proportions of this that I don't quite like anymore, but the first time I've drawn them where they both look like they belong from the same story, like the same art style, if you know what I mean. In particularly the pen sketch, because pen sketches just go horribly. These I actually did at the beach. We've got, I love this. This is tiny, but it's the gang at the beach. You've got Gov and Bran and Dinnadan and Lancelot, and they're so adorable. And then this is based off a swimsuit that exists in The Sims. And then lots of these are just like drawings of people I saw, drawings of my characters if they were at the beach. And then, I'm sure you guys remember this. I love this drawing. I love this drawing so much that I've added a whole cat character to my comic just for the sake of this, because it's beautiful. This was what I was planning on doing on the front of one of my sketchbooks coming up. I never did, but I do still really like it, so I should probably try and remember it, because it's really cute, and could definitely make a cute sketchbook cover at some point. In fact, I'm going to come back and remember to take a photo of that, I think. And then we've got, you know, I got some coloured pencils, so I tried to do an actual coloured pencil, decent drawing of these two beans. The line art isn't quite right, which I think is what's mostly letting this down. Also, I never draw in coloured pencils, so I'm not really used to it. This was when I received news that I actually had a university project I was supposed to be doing, because my application was an absolute hot mess of trying to get stuff done because they thought they'd had my certificates. They did not have my certificates. So this was a little doodle for what I wanted my first ever uni project to look like. You can have a look at that in the video I put up a couple weeks ago about my first term at university, and I'll explain more about that guy. This is a drawing of some YouTuber, I think. This is just a really cute little drawing of Tristan, and also I wanted him to tie his hair up with flowers because it'd be really cute. And also, you know, markers. This was to cover up the markers on the back. Also, I got some washi tapes, and they're really pretty, and so I want to do something sunflower themed. And then these were some redesigns of some really old characters, and also a really cool dress I saw on Pinterest that I wanted to draw. And I really love these two still. I've kind of not quite worked out what I'm doing with either of them, even after all of that. And then we've got a little mini comic of Tristan that I never ended up doing in full colour, although I totally intended to, which is just very cute. This was when I started watching Legend of Korra, because Korra is just awesome, and also doing sketches for what I wanted like a poster of my comic to look like. I really quite like this, actually. It makes it seem more dramatic than it is, but it's a very cool little layout. This was when I was designing a human Perry the Platypus. I love this sketch so much with his little scarf. Look how cute the little scarf is. Also, Doofenshmirtz and random innators. I was watching a lot of Phineas and Ferb back then. This drawing of Tristan in a flower crown is still absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. Also, big pants. Big top, little pants, and little top, big pants as a couple, because who doesn't want that as a couple? I mean, I really love this drawing in particular with the big pants. I don't draw big pants very often because I don't look very good in them because I'm kind of short, but she's so cute. Look at the little face. And then random anxiety doodles, mostly. This was just kind of a stream of consciousness chucked onto a page. We've got a dragon thing going on here, and I don't even know what this one was. I really like this though. She's really cute with the little tiny feet. And then this was just me redrawing a really old character. I got some highlighters. I wanted to play with highlighters. A really old character of mine who I designed ages ago, which was like a mix and match kind of character. So one big boot, one small boot, one ripped pants, one not ripped pants, off the shoulder, and then the hair split. And I just kind of wanted to split down the middle and look like kind of two slightly different people from either side. It was a very fun experiment of stuff to do. Bran with short hair because she's bisexual, so at some point she has to get the bisexual haircut. That's just kind of the way the world works. Also Bran in like this different kind of dress for the start of the story, although the body is not really very proportional there. And, you know, Gov and Tristan with loads of flowers in their hair, because boys with flowers in their hair is very cute, and I just like drawing it. This was just like a really funky, cool dress thing. I was watching Strictly again, and I just liked making like really funky looking outfits and stuff. This is a whole page of Governale, which I have discovered is actually, if you search up Governale, you don't get the character from Arthurian legend. It's like a kind of wheel, apparently. But, so I did a little wheel drawing on here, but this is just him being adorable. I was trying to work out how he could wear like a cloak over the ridiculousness that is currently his outfit. Then we had more Jack and Yanto, because I got back into Torchwood. I really love this drawing. It's so cool. I kind of want to turn it into a full piece at some point, but I have done so much Torchwood fan art recently that I feel like I might need to kind of hold fire, but I would love to turn that into a full piece because it's just so pretty to look at. These were just some little characters. This is the character from my first uni sketchbook and the second uni sketchbook, so I was kind of deciding what the third uni sketchbook character might end up looking like, but they didn't actually end up looking anything like this at all because I decided I was doing my final project, hopefully on Gwaine and the Green Knight, and so this kind of got scrapped. But it's a really cute little design as it is. I love the little knee plaster. This was just kind of a stream of consciousness doodle page again. I was trying to redraw that hand from before, and it didn't work very well. It doesn't look nearly as good as the original one. This is... I don't know, but it's very cool. I think it might have been based on a scene I saw from Catherine Adora, but I'm not sure. It's very cool. Trying to draw feet. And then this is where we get into all of the character designs, of which I have tons. I kind of did this one drawing of Lancelot because I decided to redesign his cape, because his cape was originally designed to cover as much of the armour as possible, so I wouldn't have to draw it. But now I'm slightly more confident drawing armour, I was like, let's make him super flashy. So I did a really dramatic kind of fancy cape with a little cut. And then I was working on his outfit for like his posh, like kind of courtly outfit and give him the little crown, which I just think looks adorable. I remembered that because he is French, a fleur-de-lis could be a really cool symbol for him because it's recognisable and easy to draw. Then I did a couple of little sketches on Dinadan and also Lancelot in a dress, because there's a very, very specific scene that's going to show up in the beginning of my comic in which Lancelot puts on a dress to fight Dinadan. It's so good. But little Dinadan with his boots and like designing different swords and weapons. And then we started on Tristan, because honestly, up until now, as I'm sure you saw earlier, Tristan's outfit was literally just a shirt. So I was like, how do we make this guy even more dramatic than he already is? Answer: really heckin' long coat. Super swishy, super cool, also really tall boots, because I've just decided that as the token straight character in my comic, he has to be the most dramatic character I can possibly make him, because to make up for that, because it's just fun. And then I was also working on what his posh kind of courtly outfit would look like, once again with the stupidly high boots, and working on his little sigil, which I've drawn, and swords, because swords are fun, and just look at this bean, he's so cool. Then I spent some time on King Mark, who I've only ever drawn once in that tiny doodle you saw before. I quite like how this looks. He's got like gloves, and he's got to be kind of spooky, King Mark. He's not very likable. I'm trying to make all my characters really human and have layer and depth, but King Mark is just not very likable, because one of these characters has to not be likable, otherwise it doesn't quite work. Then we've got more Bran. This is entirely based on Angelica Schuyler's outfit from the musical Hamilton, because peak character design right there. Then we've got some drawings of Aizyul, which I never quite worked out what was going on with the top line of her dress, but, you know. I actually prefer the one from earlier on with the little clasp and everything. I might have to go back to that and the funky necklace. It was very cool. Then these were just a load of drawings that I did in uni when I was supposed to be working on other things. I was like, right, we're going to stick them all together and do the little tiny thumbnails for a comic I'm working on. Like an actual couple pages of comic I'm working on that's like a snippet out of their story. I figured I'll just start small. I'll just do this cute little comic about a cat. It's still taking me forever. Then this is obviously Bruna and Daniel. I love Bruna. He's come such a long way since I first designed him, but he's just got such... He's so fun. He's so fun. Then I started working on other characters that I thought I might need before the end of the first act of my story. So, first act obviously includes the Cornwall versus Ireland duel, so I needed to create Marhos, who I decided is going to be like kind of cute and short and stubby, and I thought I might give him Bran's sword originally with the idea that maybe Gov collects it because he's obsessed with swords, and ends up giving it to her later just because I didn't want to have to design another sword. And also, I really love the way he looks. I'm kind of annoyed that I'm going to have to kill him off. So I'm almost considering translating this guy into a different character to protect him and just creating someone really generic for Marhos, but I love, look at his little hair. He's so cute. Then we got some more on Marius because Marius is a bean and he's the youngest character in my comic by a mile. He's like 14, 15, and he's baby. Look at his little face. His little top. He's so cute. Then just some doodles of whatever I decided Aizult's parents were going to look like. I had watercolours on me that day, so I was like, we're just going to chuck some colour on here, see what happens. Palomides is beautiful. I love her. She's one of my favourite characters that I've created. She's obviously based on the knight Sir Palomides, but I was like, you know what, we don't have enough girls who can use swords in this story, so we're going to make her a girl, and she's awesome. She's got a really cool sword, and really cool, like, outfit, and I just, look at that little face! I love her so much. She's one of my favourites. I forgot I gave her earrings as well. Those are really nice earrings. Then, Nimue, working on just, like, a whole load of different outfits for her. I'm kind of thinking of splitting Nimue into having, like, several different outfits that kind of marry up with the different bits of a personality, like Nimue as Lancelot's mother, Nimue as the Lady of the Lake sword genius who keeps giving swords to everybody, Nimue as the, you know, the lady of the Sealy court, all these different kind of bits of her, but I love her hair. Her hair's so much fun to draw. Then we've got, you know, Aizyul and Palomides being adorable, which genuinely the invention of Palomides made me want to make Aizyul less of a horrible character, because I was like, I can't have Palomides be in love with someone who hates them. And so now it's gay as well. Everything in this story is gay. I was really trying to resist making Aizyul gay for the longest time because I was like, she's meant to be a horrible character who dies tragically. I don't want to do that to, like, this community. Particularly I didn't have any lesbians in, and then I was like, you know what, I really want Palomides to be a lesbian, so I also need Aizyul to be a lesbian, and it's just gonna have to be tragic, because I like drawing gay stuff, okay? Don't judge me. Ew. We're nearly at the end though, guys. Like, look at this. We're nearly there. Din Dan and Lancelot being adorable. This is just like a label from a pin I ordered that I really liked the look of. Another attempt at Aizyul. I still prefer that one from the couple pages back. I don't know why, it just looked really good. My friend came in a witch's hat for Christmas, and I had to draw them in it because the witch's hat is so cool. I mean, just look at the witch's hat. It was covered in like Christmas lights and everything. It was so cool. This is little Isabel from my other comic, who's just looking adorable here. Crowley, based on the season 2 pictures that came out with his really funky hair, and I was like, we're just gonna make this guy dramatic as anything because it's Crowley, and that's the right thing to do. Jack and Yanto, because I don't know when to stop. Bran, just being quite cute. Oh, I also started watching the Owl House, so we've got a really nice little drawing of Luce here. I really like, actually, the more I looked at the Owl House, like, the way the proportions are done on the characters, is they're, like, really leggy, because they're little teenagers, and it's just very cool. Pirate character, because pirates are awesome. Some kind of... I drew this one sketch and I just invented random characters for it. And then I've kind of fell in love with them. And so I kind of started working on a whole storyline for these two characters as for, like, where they could have come from and their world. And actually I then invented a secondary character to go with them and fell more in love with her than I had with the other two. This is one of my favourite sketches of Lancelot. He looks so nice there. He looks so nice there. Drawing of my brother when he was asleep on the sofa. And yeah, so this was more development of that story with, like, the two characters from before and then some additional, like, sibling characters. I also just really love the way this girl looks with, like, the cardigan. It's very nice. And I don't know what this was. I think this was roughly around when I started watching The Witcher. Yeah, it was definitely around when I started watching The Witcher. So I think it was based on a combination of, like, my cardigan and also Yaskia, and I'm not really sure what happened. This is a very cute drawing of Bran. I love this. This is so cute. Lots of drawings of Yaskia. I love Yaskia's fashion sense. I made a whole video on it, which is, like, the most recent video to go up, so I spent about an hour talking about this yesterday. But Yaskia is just a bean. I love his fashion sense. So cool. Cat, because who needs more cats? We've got Gwen in her little cloak and her hood again. This definitely was Gwen. I can remember with the back half of the book, because this is more recent stuff. This adorable little sketch based on a scene from the end of episode 6 of The Witcher, because the lighting is just beautiful, and I'm so mad at them because I know that they're queerbaiting me, and I'm falling for it anyway, but oh, it's so cute. Different method of trying to draw faces for these guys. I'm not sure entirely if it worked, although I quite like what I did with Isolde's hair there. That's really quite cool. But I'm not entirely sure whether I like the way the faces turned out. And then we've got Yaskia and Ciri doing flower crowns, which was arguably the inspiration for my latest painting, which, can I just say, I mean, I'm recording this the day after I posted that painting on my Instagram. But I want to thank everyone so much for all the love that painting has got, because it has done so well. The only time I've ever had a painting on Instagram do as well as the Witcher one that I just posted is when, like, the original artist has come across it and posted it on their story, which happened once with a piece of fan art I made that got really popular. But, like, it's the first time something has done really, really well just off me posting it. And it's so awesome, and I'm really happy about it. This was me working on designing a coat for Bruna, because I forgot that Bruna is a La Cote Maltale, which means the Knight of the Ill-Fitting Coat, and he can't be the Knight of the Ill-Fitting Coat if I don't draw him a coat. Also, just, like, a version of, like, Tristan and Gov from, like, when they first come back to England after having spent so long in France, and I was like, you know what? We can put a corset on him too, because I feel like Tristan is that kind of dramatic. And also I really wanted to play up the whole Gouvernail's obsessed with swords thing. I kind of just have him... You know, like the little meme about ace people and dragons? It's like that, but with swords. He loves swords, and it's so much fun. And I have this image of, like, me adding more and more swords to him as the comic progresses, as just, like, a little in-joke. I have so many in-jokes planned for this comic, but it'll be so fun. I love these guys. This is Gareth, although actually, having looked at that previous one, I do want to draw him with the top knot again. Gareth and Bruna, and I kind of drew Gareth, loved it. Drew Bruna next to him because I wanted to get, like, a height comparison, because they're about the same age, they're both about 19. And then something about the way I draw Bruna just made him look like he was so in love, and I was like, right, do I need to make these guys gay as well? And as always, the answer is yes. So, Beans being adorable. This drawing based entirely on a pair of new jeans I got that I just really like. Bruna and Dinadan and Daniel, and Bruna in fancy clothes because I realised he didn't have any, just because I can. And then we did a load of drawings of Tristan. I can't remember why, we just did. I really like this. I still really like this. This is another kind that would be really easy to make into a sticker because it's, like, in that simple style of mine. The really simple version I have would do, like, just, like, the cute little eyes, and he looks so cool there with his dramatic coat, and I really like it. Then I got a pair of dungarees recently. I kind of got off dungarees when I was younger for some reason, but I recently got a pair, and I'm actually really liking the way they feel. And I was like, right, I want to draw a character with dungarees, and then this spiraled off into a whole thing, which is a new story I'm also working on. There's these two, again, because they're just adorable. Some more work on Nimue, although her hair is not nearly as fancy there. Tiny little Yaskia, because he's adorable. And then we've got some, well, this is the second to last page, so I put some brown paper in to stop the bleeding. And we've got, you know, Dinner Dan. And I love the way that, like, you can play with brown paper, because you can put the highlights in and it's so much fun. And then finally, I did a little drawing in markers at the end. Unfortunately, I did not have all my markers with me when I did the first half of this drawing, so I kind of messed up the colour of the leathers that Bran wears, and also her skin tone's not quite right. But I really like the way this looks. Then finally, we've got my little pocket, which is mostly filled with things that I did whilst at uni to put on my wall, which consists of mermaid drawing, which I did at the same time as the mermaids. I was trying to see if I could get, like, the cool lighting effect traditionally, because it's something I'm not particularly great at. We then have Kakashi and Guy, based on that little sketch, because I can't really not have Kakashi and Guy fan art on my wall at uni. I love these two. There's not enough of them in this book. I need to draw them more often, really, because they're so cute. And then I did, oh, let's get these in the right order. I did some, like, marker illustrations of my characters, roughly around the time I first got my markers, back before I knew that there was a gay-specific flag. And back when he had his old style of cape, and so we've got Bran in more appropriate colouring, and Dinner Dan and Lancelot, which also, I believe, went on my wall at some point. These two being adorable, and then, like I said, I scaled up that drawing I did of Jack and Yanto so I could colour it in. It doesn't look as good coloured in. It looked better as a sketch, but it was tons of fun. An entire year of art in my sketchbook. Heck, I got through so much that year. I really love this sketchbook. There's so much good stuff in it. Obviously, you've heard me kind of be obsessed with it for the last however long. We are now, of course, on Sketchbook 3, which is a different kind of sketchbook, because whilst I really like the paper in this, this is an Ohuhu sketchbook, the cover was really hard to paint on because it's kind of textured, and also so many pages in, I don't know if I'd ever get through them, so we've got slightly less pages in the latest sketchbook, and a makeshift pocket because it didn't come with one. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for putting up with me. I really hope you enjoy this video, and if you don't, okay. I'm not sure what to say to that, really. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Please leave a comment down below of your favourite sketch, or things you think I could do in my sketchbook that would be more fun, ways I could make sketchbook videos that don't go entirely off topic. Would all be super appreciated, and I will see you all next time. Bye.